Charm School Show, your weekly lesson in all things lifestyle and relationship. I'm Kim.
And I'm Krystal, and today's topic is...
I know it's not just us who've had some terrible dating experiences, from meeting people online, at the grocery store, wherever. It's all been crazy. You?
Hell yeah, I've had a hell date.
Hell to the yeah.
I've had a few, actually. Some stand out more than others. But do you want to hear about my
Yes.
one?
I feel like I need something to drink, but just tell me, girl. What happened?
Yeah, we need a drink. We're going to need a drink after it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is what happened. So I met a guy on Bumble.
Yeah.
So we were like chopping it up a little bit. Throughout the week we were texting. And so then we decided, he was like, hey, let's meet up this Friday. I said, okay, why not? So he was like, okay, cool. So as Friday approached, he actually texted me and was like, you know, we'll do 7 o'clock. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Then he called me about 6:50-ish or so. He was like, can we make it 8? And I was like, all right now. Okay, so then I was like, okay, fine. He was like, well, I'll text you the address when I'm ready for you to, like, actually, like, leave. And we can leave at the same time. Because he lived on the other side of Dallas, right? So I was like, all right. So I was just taking my time getting dressed, you know, because low-key, I didn't even want to go. I really didn't want to go because I was like, it's another Bumble meetup. And so I was like, I guess. And so he texted me the address. He texted me the address. Not like the actual place, but the address. So I was like, okay, now are we going to just a blank building? Is it black out on the outside?
Is this your house? Where are we going?
I was like, okay, sir. So I put it in Waze, and it said, Joe's Crab Shack. Now, how would you have felt? I'm trying to figure out how you would have felt.
I would have been like, oh, okay.
Right. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to be too picky. I'm picky, but I ain't picky, but I'm picky. And so I was like, that's cool. So when he texted me, it was like 8:59. I didn't even realize it was that late because I was taking my time getting dressed, right? You know, going back on Bumble, swiping other people.
Gotta set up next week's date.
Right. I was like, okay. So I get to the restaurant. The first thing he says to me is, I've been waiting on you. You're kind of late. Sir, this whole date is late. Okay, the whole situation is late.
How dare he?
How dare, right? So then we walk in, and the waitress sits us down, and she's like, oh, you're so cute. You're so pretty. Your makeup's so pretty. I said, oh, thank you, girl. Thank you. I was still at that point, especially when you're on like a little meetup blind date, you're like, okay, so I am as cute as I thought I was. And so when we were sitting there, he really didn't talk much. The one thing, or maybe two things he said was, you look tired. Okay. All right. I said, well, you know, I am a little tired, but I was like, how do you know? Like, you've never seen me before. And so, you know, so then we kept looking through the menu or whatever, still not really talking. And I was like, dude, this is kind of weird. Okay. And the waitress comes over and she takes our order. And I'm like, I'll have the crab legs and shrimp because that's what you get. Right?
It was a special, right?
I mean, was I supposed to get chicken fingers?
You're supposed to get water.
Then she's like, well, sir, what can I get for you? He says, I don't think I want anything. Now, I just drove all the way out here for me, like, to eat by myself. Are you for real? Something's wrong here. All right, so I was like, okay. The waitress left. I said, well, are you not hungry now? Or he's like, I just kind of don't know what I want. I said, okay. All right. Then it was silence. Again. And so I was like, well, do you talk? You know, what's up? You want to talk?
You mute?
And so I said, he was like, you know, this is just kind of awkward. I said, oh, what's really awkward about it? I mean, okay, yeah, but why is it awkward? No, I just kind of read people a little bit, and, you know, it's just, I'm a realist, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go. Girl, he got up out of his seat and left me sitting there at the Joe's Crab Shack. At the Joe's.
What did you do?
I was sitting there with Joe and his crab shack. Listen, I was beside myself. Do you hear me? I was livid, and I was just like, did this just happen? Am I getting punked?
Did the cameras come out?
No cameras came out, dog. No, not a one camera came out, but the waitress came out, and I was like, ma'am, I said, ma'am, come here real quick. I said, so I ordered the crab legs and the scripts. I'm gonna pay for that, but I just want to take it to go. I said, the man left me, and she said, that dick. I said, yeah, it's pretty accurate. And then she was like, well, and I was like, I really didn't even want Joe's. I was like, I just came. I'm going to talk to my manager for you. I said, okay, thank you. And she came back and she's like, oh, my manager said, don't have to worry about paying for it. And you know what? And she automatically became hype man. She was hype beasting me all the way from my seat to the door. She was like, girl, you are too beautiful for him. You got this going on. I was like, do you know my life, man? But thank you. I mean,
your cheerleader on the way out. That's a blessing.
That was a blessing. So when I got in the car, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this just happened. And I text you and you were like, girl, I'm on a bad day too. And I was like, what in the world is happening? Was it a full moon that night or what?
Girl, I have no idea. My date sucked. I don't know if it sucked as bad as yours, but it absolutely was terrible. But guys, just hold on 1 minute. We'll be back right after this break and we'll talk about that. So what had happened was you would text me, girl, and by that time my ass was fed as well. I didn't meet mine on Bumble. Tinder is just as bad for those who don't know.
Yeah.
But I met a cutie on there. We were messaging on there for a while and eventually exchanged numbers. From there, phone calls, FaceTime. So I was like, okay.
Okay, he gave you a FaceTime.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, and quickly wanted to like hang out. So I'm like, I like that. Didn't beat around the bush. So we set a date. It was Friday, of course, and we set a date to link up. And we never really set a time. Okay. So, time thing is still the issue. But I was getting ready. Later on, he hits me. He was like, yeah, let's link up at 7. I'm like, okay, don't know what we're doing, but I'm going to get ready. So rushing home from work, trying on all these outfits because I want to look cute because I'm like, oh, he could be the one.
Oh, see, that's how you was thinking.
I always be thinking, well, if we...
You never know.
You never know.
Always put your best foot forward.
Your best lace front forward. So, okay, he could be the one. So I'm trying on clothes, getting my hair right, feeling good. It's a little after 7 because, like you said, the time keeps going. And I'm like, well, he hasn't hit me yet. Finally, I get a text, and he's like, oh, sorry, I met up with my boys. We went to happy hour. I'm going to be a little bit later. Oh, okay. So first, I'm not priority on what is supposed to be our meetup.
Right.
Okay, I hope you're not too drunk or anything. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm trying to play it cool. So, I'm getting hungry, though. Right. Because I'm assuming we're going to go eat. So I'm getting hungry and just kind of laying around, and the time just keeps going. And I'm not hearing from him, so I'm like, maybe we're not going?
Right.
Or what?
Is we ain't.
And like, what's the deal? So then he gives me a call, and he's like, oh, my bad, I'm coming, I'm on my way, I'm waiting on my Uber. And I was like, oh, why don't you your Uber? No, I thought you were going to drive. But okay, cool. And he's like, yeah, what's your address? I'm just going to come over there. Oh, we're not going to meet at a place?
Right.
But I was like, okay, so you're going to Uber over here? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, cool. So he's like, I'll text you when I get in.
Okay, wait. Can I pause and ask you a question? Mm-hmm. When he said that, and did you gave him your address, did you give him, to your actual unit number?
I did. Don't be like me, guys. Don't be like me. I did. So I gave him my apartment or whatever and told him where I stayed. And then we're texting.
That girl, Kimmy. Okay, good.
So he's on his way over, and I'm like, okay, so let me, freshen up again. Time is still passing. He finally shows up, super late. It's like almost 10 o'clock at this point. And I'm like annoyed. And I'm like, I don't even want to really go. And he's like, do you mind if we just, chill and watch Netflix?
No.
Because I was like, well, I haven't eaten at this point. I've just been eating chips and stuff. And he just shows up and he's got like a cheap ass bottle of wine. And I'm just like.
And he was dropped off in an Uber.
So I go ahead and we sit down and I'm just like, okay. So he's stuck here for a while. What do I do and how do I get rid of him? We end up going and getting tacos. And in my car. I drive.
I was like, did y'all get another Uber?
No, I drove to get the tacos. And then we came home, we talked, and then eventually...
Ooh, this is a hell
And I was just like, I just need to get rid of him. The only reason we went to get tacos was because I was hungry and I knew he was going to pay that $10 for the party pack. The worst part, I didn't even get to the worst part. The worst part, it came out during the conversation.
Get to the worst part.
The conversation. So we're talking, and eventually, I want to put his business all the way out there, but it comes out that the man is still married.
Okay, bye.
He's getting separated.
No, I'm done.
But that's why he doesn't have a car. That's why he doesn't have a car.
I'm done.
She got the car.
So he Uber everywhere.
Everywhere. So I'm like, you don't have a car. You probably never had a real date plan, and you've already. It was just
and he needed somewhere else to stay because that's why he came over trying, can I Netflix and chill?
And it wasn't with me. No Netflix, no chill really even happened. We ate our tacos, and I was like, well, I'm tired. I think I'm going to go ahead and go to bed.
Call your Uber.
And that's how the night ended. So, dumb stuff on my part. I can totally own up to that. But it sucks because you want to give people a chance, especially when you had like a good fresh start.
I think that's the thing. Like being single and in your 30, 34 at that. Yeah. It's kind of like, well, do I give this one a little bit of leeway? Because that's how I felt. I was like, okay, well, time isn't that major. It's Friday night. Right. I was going slow too. But then you're like, well, I'm going to let that slide, and then I'm going to let that one slide, too. And then before you know it, you're in a hell date.
That's what we want to get to you all and let you know. If you see a red flag, trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
Don't make any exceptions. Stick to your code, your values, and don't be like us.
Right. But when they change the time on you, just cut it right there.
Just say, you know what, that's no longer going to work for me.
Right.
When they tell you they got a wife.
Right. But we could have easily met at Starbucks or something, An
ice cream date.
So if you want to meet up with somebody and take them on a date, be simple. Let that first date be simple.
Yeah, exactly. Trust your gut, guys. And don't be like us. No more hell dates. We're doing better.
Next episode, how we got the ring.
The ring didn't mean anything.
Thank you guys for joining us on the Charm School Show. We will see you guys next time. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe.
Tell us about your hell dates below.
Yep.